St George defending the northern end in the first stanza, and that's Funnel, who's going to go for the first run of the afternoon, and he's taken to the ground only about 17 or 18 metres out from his own line. Kokas, Wynn trying to bust them up, getting close towards that quarter line. And here's some of the carnivals going on in the background as they're coming onto the ball this time. St George try to run it up through prop forward Greg Evans, still down on the quarter line, trying to make ground from dummy half as Johnsy thought about throwing the pass to Fullerton Smith. In fact, on the outside it's Fraser. Now taking the ball up is Young, and Young chopped down. Good defence round the bootlaces by the centre three-quarter Greg Florimo. Funnel, he's got a big boot on him, up over the halfway, down towards that North Sydney quarter line. Conlon getting back there, and Conlon will take it. Oh, they almost made a meal of that. And it is going to be Simons who's going to be wrapped up over on the North Sydney quarter line.
A lot of enthusiasm by the St George players there, and they really need it, David, because Roy Masters, he really gave it to them this week. They've been training very hard, and they've been working on those basic skills. Those fundamental skills have been letting them down over the last few weeks.
So Wright sends it back. On the open side comes McKinnon. McKinnon's wrapped up midway half and quarter inside North Sydney's territory. Now getting the ball back, it's Clark. Clark it is who kicks it up over the halfway down to the St George quarter line. Funnel takes it well. Now Funnel's going to return the kick. It's a wobbly old kick. It might go out on the full. No, bounces perfectly and is going to find touch only about 9 metres out from the North Sydney line. Only about 30 metres out, though, from the North Sydney line. That's Johns. The one-handed found Young. Young back down the centre. A pass that was, well, I don't know who it was intended for, but just as well Evans was Johnny on the spot because he managed to pick it up. He plays it. Johnston sends the pass away to Kokas. Now taking it up is Robinson, the dummy. He's out of one. He's over the quarter line. Robinson with Conlon to beat. Good defence. Back it goes to Kokas, and Kokas is in. Super St George try. Kokas has scored, but mark it down to the 5'8", Steve Robinson.
Certainly was, David, and it couldn't have come at a better time, not only for St George, but for rugby league fans in general. Now watch the step. Little dummy, whoops, they get in the way, Cannon and Friend, and he's just going through. He knows that Kokas is there, looks, and a good pass. And that's what it's all about. You don't need a coach to tell you to back up.
And there's Funnel's kick, and the extras are added, and so St George are leading by 6 points to 0. So there's the restart from North Sydney. I wonder what that looked like from the sidelines. Hanso.
Well, the try was tremendous, and thank goodness, David, that someone did something. I mean, we've been sitting here for 15 minutes wondering if someone's going to run with the ball and make a break, and I'm glad it was St George, because those two young guys have been toiling very well here today, Kokas and Robinson, and they've taken this game, and let's see if they can go on with it now.
Kokas has probably been their best player all year, but they've made a mistake here in North Sydney. Cannon for the line, and Cannon will score! Cannon has scored for North Sydney, and it's 6-4, and that is the sort of stupid error that Roy Masters has been castigating St George for all week.
Watch this. This is something you don't do in your own quarter. No, Albert, no. Could have been a knock-on. Maybe the referee was unsighted. You may have noticed the touch judge look towards the referee. Now then, he's back in the game, and he realises it to Stanton. 6 points down. Let's see that again. Well, you don't do this, and not from your skipper. Well, I would say that was a definite knock-on. The referee has given him the benefit of a doubt. He's done the right thing, the lock-forward Cannon. You play to the whistle, and no doubt about it.
A few years ago, St George let him go. They didn't wish to retain his services. Clark from the touchline. There's the kick. It's a shocker. An absolute shocker. So, St George are leading North Sydney by 6 points to 4. They take up the short side this time. That's French, the former Queenslander.
Well, he's one player, David, that can... oh, that was really bad play. There was a man marking there.
And this will be a chance, no doubt, for Funnel to come up and have a shot at penalty goal. Well, it's the right foot he'll be using. In he comes. There's the kick. It's swinging around. Will it swing around enough? It sure will. 2 points to St George. And St George are leading North Sydney by 8 points to 4. And we've had about 30 minutes play here in the first half. The scrum going down just outside the North Sydney quarter line, and a friend is going to get that ball, and they try the blind side through Conlon. Back on the inside comes Simons. Back on the outside comes Friend. Back it goes out towards Simons and Conlon. She was almost basketball, that. Down to the sidelines, and here's Ian Hansen.
I know the mistakes have been high today, David, but I can see since they scored that try, St George, even though they let Cannon in to score his, I can see some urgency coming into their play. Players like Young and Johnson, they're really starting to get this the St George team fired up. I don't think it's going to be any instant stardom for these St George players, but they're working on it.
Friend taken on by his opposite number, Kokas, just inside North Sydney's territory. Up there lending assistance with Fullerton Smith. They go the blind side, the Bears, and out wide it goes to Bella. And what a good ball and all tackle that was. That was Michael Beattie, and there aren't many better defenders in the game than Beattie, and that was as good a ball and all defensive tackle as you'll ever see.
Certainly was, David, and one of the widest men on the field, Bella.
That's not a bad kick from Cannon, but see that little bounce it got just when it got into the in-goal area, gave it the impetus to go across the dead ball line, and trying to position Lennon as well to get up and play it 34 metres out from his own line. Now that's Tate, and Tate's gone straight through. He's up over the halfway. He's got support coming up. This will be a try to North Sydney. Lennon will score, and this will make it 8-all. Lennon's in.
That really was good football, but I hate to say it, there was two feeble attempts by the St George players. Here you see it from the end on. Oh, dearie me. It was the prop, Greg Evans, that took the dummy. Now look at him, he's saying, get inside. And that's good play, good positioning by the former Rugby Union wingman, and he'll enjoy that. Back to top form.
So here's Clark. So Lennon last year played in 7 first-grade games and scored 7 tries. Here's Clark. Can he put the Bears in front for the first time today? No. That wasn't a good kick. So St George and North Sydney 8 apiece. As you can see, that rather dilapidated Union Jack is blowing quite briskly in the breeze. There's the kick from North Sydney, their first of the second half. And just like many of Steve Funnell's in the first half, they're going to find touch within metres of the St George line.
Well, actually, more importantly, David, on the other side of the field, Norths are in a lot of bother here. Greg Florimo is down getting attention, so he could be scratching here in the second half.
And he seems to have injured a leg, as Norths have the ball on the quarter line and trying to bust them up this time and getting a pass away towards Conlon. Conlon down towards the St George quarter line. The floated pass out wide goes from Simons. Back on the inside, North Sydney continue the movement going through Cannon, and Cannon's held up in tackle number 5. Only 18 metres away. North Sydney's turn to attack through Friend. Friend puts the kick in, and this will be a try. Or Willett going for the line as Tate. Back on the inside comes Lennon, and Lennon scores. Try.
Well, put that down to Mark Graham's pass way back in his own quarter.
The chance now for North Sydney to go into the lead by 6 points, and he's missed another one. So Clark's had 3 kicks at goal, and he's missed a lot of them. 12 points to 8 it is North Sydney over St George. They've scored 3 tries to 1, and yet St George are still in it. And isn't it incredible? St George go 50 metres with the ball, and almost immediately North Sydney run back the length of the field to score that try. Maybe we're going to see the game really opened up in the second half. North Sydney run the ball back towards the St George quarter line. That's French. It's towed through by Wynn. There's a race for the ball. Getting back there though and fielding it is Conlon. Conlon is pushed by Kokas. Can he get him back in the field of play? Good football from Conlon. He's got away from all of them. He's over the North quarter line. He's got support. He's up over the halfway. Back on the inside. The ball come. It's been fumbled. Gathered up by Florimo. But the scrum will go down for the knock on. Just inside the quarter line area of North Sydney. Now it's away to Funnell. Funnell goes on his own, trying to step the North Sydney defence. 12 metres out. North's player down injured. Hurdling him was Billy Johnson. Back it goes to Kokas. He finds a runner in Fraser. Fraser going close. He's only 8 metres away from the North line. Johnson again was waiting for that ball to come back. It was played forward by the St George player, and they're going to get a penalty, St George. There's the kick from Funnell. He's added the 2 points, and so there's just 2 points in it here at the Royal Easter Show. As North Sydney have the ball, and away it goes to Bella. Bella straight down the centre, and he's got time even to get his pass away to McKinnon. McKinnon throws the dummy back towards the halfway line. Well, Bella had 4 men round him and still slipped the pass. Right at dummy half. That's Friend. Friend on his own, the little chip and chase over the top. He's into the open space, he's regathered. He's got Cannon in support on the inside. Cannon for the line, Cannon will score. North Sydney have got the game all sewn up now. Clayton Friend, the chip and chase. Cannon in support on the inside. It's 16-10.
Well, I said it, David. I said it needs something extra special. This is beautiful play by the Kiwi. He gets the beautiful bounce. But really, where were you, St George? Where was the sweeper? You couldn't blame the fullback. He took the man with the ball, and that should wrap up the game.
There's the kick as we got the first one of the afternoon. First kick of the afternoon successful for North Sydney. Was kicked by their halfback Clayton Friend, and that just about puts the game out of St George's reach. Away it goes to Young. Now Young puts the kick in. It finished up being a reasonable kick, but it could have easily been picked up easily for North Sydney. And in the end, Florimo stepped them. He's put the ball back on the inside. That's Lennon. Lennon kicks it through. Lennon or Johnston. Johnston and Lennon. The two of them racing for the ball. Lennon toes it into the end goal area, and it's crossed the dead ball line. Well, St George would dearly love to see a tight head go their way here, and they might have done that. They have. In fact, St George have got a chance from dummy half. It goes away from Robinson. Back it goes to Kokos. It's loose. Picking it up is Fraser, and Fraser has scored. Try to St George. 18-14, and is there time left for them to come back from the dead?
Well, good play by St George. They took the advantage there. But there was a lock forward on hand to scramble his way across. And this is good play by the 5'8". He took out the man there. The ball jolts free. And 1, 2, 3, I'll roll, scrape over. They all count.
There's the kick from Funnel. And it's 2 more points to St George. So 18 North Sydney, 16 St George. And there's still time left in the game for the St George Dragons. Just outside the quarter line. Well, the full-time siren expected at any time. In fact, there it goes now. So what can St George do? Nothing, because the referee calls timeout, and that's the ball game as far as the Royal Easter Show game is concerned. North Sydney have defeated St George by 18 points to 16. Thoroughly deserved to do so, scoring 4 tries to 2.
Certainly did, David, and I thought it was a second half performance by North Sydney that came through very well indeed. And you've got to hand it to their coach, Frank Stanton. It was a case, really, of changing tactics, get the ball out wide. That's where the gaps appeared, and full credit to the Bears. They scored 4 tries to 2, fully deserved to win today.
This has been a Fox Sports production.